Hello, welcome to Gardeners World, which today comes from the Malvern Spring Gardening Show. Now, Malvern is known as a plants and people show, and we'll be looking at the people behind the scenes who've worked to bring together one of the first and biggest flower shows. Well, it's lovely to be back here at Malvern. Now, Carol, what are you going to be doing? Don't tell me. You'll be checking out the ride-on mowers, heavy machinery, chainsaws.
Exactly. And while I'm at it, I'm going to be on the lookout for unusual plants, perhaps something a little bit quirky. Every year, all these hard-working nursery people bring their very best and newest plants to Malvern, and I'm going to see what I can find.
I'm going to be taking a close look at the show gardens this year and find out what's inspired the designers, and also look at some of the elements that we can all take home and use in our own gardens.
Now, I think the key thing about Malvern for me is the timing. We've all had such a miserable winter, and yet the sun has started to shine, things have started to grow, we're all getting out in the garden. So at this stage, to have a show to inspire us and provide plants we can take back to our own gardens is perfect. Yesterday, I had the chance to have a preview as the finishing touches were being made to the stands in the floral marquee. And as well as enjoying all the amazing plants on show, I was also doing a bit of window shopping for my own garden. And I found a couple here on this stand which will do the job perfectly for the writing garden. The first is Silene fimbriata, which has these bladder-like flowers, a little fringe of white. And I love the way that it's so light and airy. There's a bit of moisture as it grows, but will take a hot, sunny position. Whereas on the other side, there's another flower, a Ranunculus aconitifolius. And the buttercup flowers are white. Perfect colour, perfect type of plant. Unlike the Silene, this does need cooler, moister soil. I put the Ranunculus in the shade, on one side of the path, and then the Silene can get much more sun on the other. And I think both will adapt well. Now, this is something that I just enjoy when I visit a show, which is the bonsai. I really admire it. It involves huge skill and attracts real fanatical following. But I don't feel the need to possess it, or do it, or include it in my garden to get a lot of pleasure from seeing it at the shows. I love violas. They're an old-fashioned plant, but their charm is ageless. They have a real vibrancy and energy and freshness, and they go on and on. You can have violas flowering for about 9-10 months a year. Graham, what's the secret of getting the best from violas?
Without a doubt, grow them through to late July, early August, and then cut them fairly severely back, and then the flowers will come intermittently through the autumn and flower quite sporadically through the winter, and then the following spring they just explode.
Yeah. They do have an incredible range of colours.
They're amazing, aren't they? This one particularly, it's called Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow, because yesterday it was one colour, today it's another, tomorrow it'll be again.
The petals change colour?
Yes, they do, yes. From this lovely white through lilac, and then the deeper colour, and then they fade away.
So they work through, how extraordinary.
They're a lovely thing, they really are, they're very pretty.
Well, not only have I had the privilege of having a look around the floral marquee before the crowds come in, I've also been carefully selecting the plants that I want to take back home. But tomorrow, I'll bring my wallet and I'll buy some. When Malvern does get underway, it's clear that I'm not the only one on the lookout for that certain something.
Well, I've never seen anybody so heavily loaded. Are they all yours?
They're all the wives.
Oh my.
I'm
So the plants are yours and you're just the porter.
Dead right.
is this?
This is mine. This is an F medium and the cream.
Goes with your hair, doesn't it?
Certainly
Really?
does.
Haven't you got
It
one?
does.
There are always a number of show gardens here at Malvern, and they're a mixed bag. Some are young designers cutting their teeth, will go on to do much bigger things, say at Chelsea or Hampton Court. Some are absolute perfect gems. And what's fascinating is you don't quite know what you're going to get. And later on in the programme, Joe will be casting his professional designer's eye over them. But earlier on, there was one garden which really caught my eye, which I want to have another look at. This garden is called East Meets West, and it feels as though it could have been here for years and years.
Peter Dull is the man behind this elegantly designed garden.
Wanted it to feel rooted in place and really use the Malverns as the perfect backdrop to the garden, and it just fitted. And the idea of going with the Japanese theme is shake, the borrowed landscape, and the whole design was just fitting into the natural surrounds that go beyond.
Now, you've called this garden East Meets West. What and where is the meeting point?
The meeting point is, I think there's, for people who've been lucky enough to perhaps visit gardens in Japan, you get that tranquility and calmness, but I wanted to bring something that was very English, that you could see in any garden in the UK.
Are you getting any feedback from the public yet?
It's been very good.
Is it?
Been very good. No, we've been absolutely delighted with feedback.
I think the judges enjoyed it too, didn't they?
Yes.
Gold medal?
Gold medal, which we were absolutely delighted with.
And even better than that, I think.
Best in show.
Well, many congratulations. That's fantastic. Now, as I'm sure Peter will endorse, preparing any show garden is a colossal amount of work. And last week, Joe went to meet one of the regulars who show here at Malvern as he prepared for his garden.
It was here on the banks of the River Severn that Malvern veteran Mark Evely first spotted the centrepiece for his latest design. Now, it wasn't this beautiful countryside that inspired him. It was a ramshackle old shed. Mark's a carpenter by trade, but he's passionate about garden design. He's designed all kinds of show gardens, and in the last 4 years, these imaginative creations have won 2 gold medals, a silver gilt and a silver. This year, a riverside boathouse is his chosen theme. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Joe.
How's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, good. So we're surrounded by some of the most beautiful countryside in the world.
Yeah.
And you're over here looking at a load of old junk.
Well, this is where I found the old shed, which I'm using it as my boathouse at Malvern, and some other junk as well, as you can see.
Well,
here.
some lovely bicycles. Are you going to incorporate those?
Definitely.
Okay, so we've got a shed that's now a boathouse. We've got some bicycles.
Yep.
What's the story behind the garden then?
Okay, well, what I'm thinking is the lady and the gent would cycle to the boathouse, and then off they'd go, get in the boat and go down the river. And unfortunately, they've moved on, they've passed away, but the garden's, it's quietly carried on, and it's kind of reverting back to nature. So these are perfect. I'm not even going to clean them up. They're just so helpful. They're from 1934, which is almost the period that the garden is set in.
It sounds like a fantastic story. I'm right there. But how do you turn that story into a garden?
I'll take you to my local pub, which is where I got my inspiration for the planting. How's that? I used to come here with my granddad, and he would have a pint, and, I could come and run around the back while he was sat at the front. It's got the most wonderful overgrown garden.
Most gardeners would want to come in here, so get the shears out, dig the whole thing over and almost start again.
No, don't do that. I can understand gardeners wanting to tidy it up, but that's not for me. I'm taking my inspiration from this, because I want that neglected field. This is perfect. Look, we've got primroses, green alkanet, all sorts of things, you know, good old mix.
No, it's gorgeous. I can totally see the charm. I mean, it's a fading old garden, and then plants that are just self-seeded and crept in, and weeds taking over at the same time. Is that what you're trying to create?
If you would like to call them weeds.
Well, some of them are weeds. There's nettles over
Nettles.
there. That's a weed.
Joe, I love nettles. I've got nettles in my garden this year. I've used manicured spurge that the judges would like to see, because I can't have just weeds. You need some architectural plants, don't you? And it is a show garden after all. Have a look at these trays that I've made. I've planted these maybe 2 months ago, something like that. My favourite, the old stingers there. And then I've kind of drifted through, so quite naturalistic, but I've dotted the odd wallflower in, as you can see here. Pink campion, absolutely love pink campion.
I can see the sort of tapestry, the naturalistic feel with a few sort of recognisable garden plants, and the little periwinkle at the front there is gorgeous.
I love that.
It's the old show garden trick of planting them up in trays in advance and then just dropping them straight in on site. I'd like to get down and see how the garden's coming on.
OK, shall we go and have a look?
Yeah. I've got it.
Got it. Let's go.
Oh, it's heavy, isn't it?
It is heavy, yeah. Just down here by these sleepers, how's that?
Just down here? What I really love about what I see is that you've used, you know, your local plants, you're a local lad, you know what's around you, and you've brought it all together with a story in a garden.
I'm very passionate about the Malvern Hills, which are just behind us. Huge. I've been walking up on those hills all my life. You know, and you'll see hawthorn, digitalis, spurge in the woods up there, so I've tried to recreate some of that within this old driftwoody, naturalistic garden. That's what I'm hoping everyone will get when they see this old shed.
Well, you've got a way to go.
Yeah.
Lots to do. I'm going to leave you to it. Good luck.
Cheers, Jake.
Nice one.
Thank you.
And here I am on the finished garden, and it looks absolutely fantastic. All the plants are overgrown, feels like it's slightly neglected. The way the plants go into the boathouse here, it just feels like it's been here forever. But where's the bicycles? Mark!
Hello.
Mark, where are the bicycles? The bicycles that we carried over here.
Right, I did try it against that post there, that lovely oak post, but I thought it was just too overpowering. It was detracting from the boat. Is that the pub?
Which
is where I was last night.
I bet you were.
So I'm a bit ropey.
Celebrating your silver gilt.
Silver gilt, yeah, chuffed with that.
Well done.
Cheers.
A lovely garden.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done.
Cheers.
Paul, you created a wonderful garden here. I love the big backdrop. It makes it very dramatic, but also keeps the focus within the garden. Yeah. This stone is gorgeous. Is it from Cornwall?
It is. It's from a small quarry outside Tintagel called Trecarn, and the colour in it is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I took a visit down there and picked all the stone out. There's about 30 tonnes altogether, and it's been beautiful to work with. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It really adds the character, doesn't it? And the walls, where it's sort of slightly laid, is that sort of herringbone size? It's got a name?
Yeah, they actually call that Jack and Jill. Right. That's what they call it down in Cornwall. And it's literally the way that it's laid. If it's frosted or damaged, it literally gets tighter and tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
So it's like a dry stone wall, but it's got so much strength in it.
And it just lasts forever.
It lasts forever. Apparently, these walls have been going on for 5,000 years.
Really?
So it's not bad. Yeah.
And the planting here is very subtropical, isn't it? It's a very protected climate. But with the wind, I do feel like I'm in Cornwall. You've got cordylions and tree ferns and even agaves and plants like that too.
It was to literally follow the planting from Trebar Garden down in Cornwall, where the inspiration came from. And we're just trying to bring a little bit of slice of Cornwall up to the Malvern show, and I hope we've sort of done that.
Light is the Load is a garden with exceptional build quality, and it's causing quite a stir. The well-proportioned boundaries of stone and green walls are a really good example of how to combine soft and hard landscaping together. The living wall is beautifully planted, but it is quite costly. However, you could achieve a similar look in your garden with a simple combination of climbers. I think the light-coloured stone is an ideal surface to brighten up a shady garden, while the many varieties of euphorbia drifted through the planting make an excellent foil for the more vibrant flowers alongside. A well-deserved gold medal.
Hello.
Bonjour, I thought I'd find you here somehow.
I'm just sitting with my eyes closed, and I'll tell you what, you really could be in Provence.
You could.
This is an extraordinary vacation.
It's beautifully done, isn't it? The detail is just wonderful. The plant choice is spot on.
You know France, I know France.
Yeah.
This is pretty damn accurate, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be, I think, it's one of those sort of little resting points on a Tour de France at the top of a mountain in the 1950s. You can imagine these guys cycling up, stopping, having a glass of wine, and then going on as cycling. It gets that Provençal feel.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Yeah. The choice of plants here, are so authentic. The olives and the convolvulus and the lavenders and stuff, and even these pots. I love the way that the herbs, really you can almost feel the sun baking on them. They love well-drained soil. They can be left for months in the summer without too much water. Well, you can go on holiday and come back and they'll still be alive.
I think the other thing is that what I get from this is you can treat your garden as a bit of theatre.
Yeah.
And if you want to make, the things that inspire you and have got happy memories, then it's the details, it's the touches that count.
Yeah.
Though the show gardens are delightful, for me the whole point about the Malvern Show is finding all these wonderful plants. Now, a few weeks ago we went to visit a small nursery in Devon and meet a man who's absolutely passionate about a particular sort.
Found in the wild around Japan and parts of Asia around there. And I just love the simplicity of them. This is actually the first time we're going to be in the marquee at Malvern. The public tend to respond very well to the Sibulda. We'll always be nervous when we're trying to put on an exhibit because the primulas can be, they're not fussy, it's just that they grow according to their own desires and their own speed. You can't force primulas along, you can't put them in a warm house to speed them up because that will just kill them. So we have to go with nature on it. We just hope that there'll be enough in flower for Malvern that we can put on a good display.
Well, I have to say, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely exquisite. But how did you get on?
We've got silver gilt. I'm really pleased with that. The weather hasn't been helpful to us, but I think it's come out nice. We like it.
And what's people's reaction to seeing so many Sibuldi all together?
I think they've been impressed. I think the main message we have to keep giving is that actually they might look delicate, but they are very good garden plants.
Yeah. And I suppose the best thing is that everybody can grow them.
They can, yes. It's a nice, friendly plant.
Along the plant avenues or in here in this wonderful marquee, the whole of the Malvern Show is packed with plants. All plants are special, but occasionally you come face to face with something that you've never seen before. The Malvern Hills are blue at the moment, alive with bluebells. But not this bluebell. This is a very special one. It's a bracteate bluebell. So called because it's got these wonderful sort of whiskery growths that separate these brilliant blue flowers. It's such a graceful, gorgeous plant and so unusual too. And it's the very first time that it's been seen in a British flower show. It's its first public outing. It's the sort of plant that you can't increase rapidly like ordinary bluebells because it's sterile. So each of these plants has been grown individually from side bulbs. It's such a special plant that it's the sort of thing that you'd want to put into a secret corner of your garden and go there occasionally to commune with it. just as the trees are coming into leaf. It's a time when woodland plants are at their very best. Now, most of us have got a bit of shade in our gardens, and these plants are ideal in that kind of situation. And there's one here that is just so beautiful. It's Cornus canadensis, so called because it's from Canada, where it carpets woodland. It's a very easy plant to grow, providing you've got slightly acidic conditions. Well, we have lots of native shade-loving plants, and all of them are beautiful, but nothing is more special than this lovely Melissa mellifluum, otherwise known as bastard balm. I don't know what it is that draws you to it. It's a quiet plant. Perhaps it's these lovely, soft, fresh green leaves, each one sheltering a beautiful white flower. They all have sticky out pink tongues too, that adds to the charm. Our native wood anemone, Anemone nemorosa, often produces all sorts of quirky variations, but none more quirky than this. This is Anemone nemorosa bracteata pleniflora, and in its centre, lots of the petals are turned into these glorious, delicate little bright green bracts. The whole thing's got the appearance of a sort of green and white powder puff. It's charming. Whatever kind of plants you're looking for, whatever your garden's like, Malvern Show is packed with all sorts of wondrous things. And I know that my car boot's not going to be nearly big enough.
It's wonderful to get out and get inspiration at flower shows, but still, the garden at home needs looking after. And here are some jobs that I was doing at Longmeadow earlier this week. It's really important to harden off any plants that have been raised under cover, and that includes garden centre plants. A cold frame is ideal for this. But if you don't have one, a sheltered corner will do the job. Then, when they've acclimatised after 1 or 2 weeks, they can be moved to their final position. Well, I couldn't resist buying my white robin and ranunculus, and these will go into the writing garden when I get home. And I've been bringing back a lot of inspiration from this year's Malvern too. And if you want to come along, see for yourself, the show is open until Sunday night, and you can get the details on our website. And I hope to see you back again at Longmeadow next week. Till then, bye-bye.